Hi, today I will be giving you a speech about why credit cards for college students are detrimental. Now, does anyone know about any negative effects that a credit card can have on a college student? No? Okay, well I wanted to let you know that there are definitely many different negative effects. I wanted to also let you know that credit cards, in theory, are a good idea for students, but they are bad for three different main reasons. One, credit cards for college students can cause a lot of debt. Two, credit cards will cause poor spending habits. And three, it will cause a lot of stress on the students. My first point, I will be talking about debt. In a Sallie Mae study, half of undergraduate college students have 4 or more credit cards, and they carry an average debt of $3,173. Now, think about that for a second. $3,000 for a college student? I don't know many college students that can afford that kind of money to pay for a credit card bill. Credit cards are hard to maintain. It's hard to. Well, I should let you know that I personally have a credit card myself, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you forget to pay, and debt debt is big. You're gonna get out of school and you're already gonna be in debt. When you graduate, you're gonna go off to your first job and you're gonna be paying debt. You're gonna be paying off your student loans for years, 10, 15, sometimes even 20 years, depending on the payment plan that you have. Do you really want to add another credit card debt to that? It'll mess up your credit rating, which will make it harder to get a house, to get a car, to anything like that. You know, debt debt is big. Especially as a college student. College students are already running on fumes for money as it is. I would know, as many of you do. All right, I will link that to my second point. My second point is talking about how credit cards for college students actually give you poor spending habits. I wanted to mention Frank Holmes. Frank Holmes is a financial expert for the Wall Street Journal. And Frank Holmes actually quoted in the article that I read saying, "People understand that it is easy to simply swipe a card and pay for something, but not easy to pay back when you don't have the money to pay the bill." Now that right there, that's a strong statement. We all know how easy it is to just swipe a card. It's really easy to just, not everyone carries cash around them. And, cash is kind of a liability, but if you have a card, it frees up space in your pocket. You don't have to carry a wallet around. You just can carry around your credit card or your debit card. Well, having a credit card can actually cause a lot of poor spending habits, especially especially when you're talking about a debit card and a credit card. Because a debit card you actually have the cash for. You have to actually have the cash for in your bank account. Credit card, you don't. Simply put, you don't have to have cash in your account. You just have to be able to pay it back later. So, you might say, well, I'm getting paid next week. Let's go to Walmart, let's buy something. You swipe your card, you buy it. You're not actually paying cash for it. And the credit card company is actually going to gain money on you because they're getting more money back that you have to pay back to them. Especially if you forget to pay your bill, like I mentioned in the previous one, talking about debt. Now, to elaborate on the poor spending habits, it's difficult. Personally, from personal experience, I wanted to mention that. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I just wanted to mention that. Sorry. All right, poor spending habits. From personal experience, swiping a card is easy. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's simple. It makes it easy. You don't have to carry cash in your wallet. But from my personal experience, it's really not worth it. I have a credit card right now, but if I had to choose, I would say that I would prefer not to have a credit card. It's good in theory to build up credit rating, but it's hard to, it teaches me bad spending habits. I feel like I can buy anything with a card. If I have cash, I can actually see the money in front of me. But with a card, I just see a little piece of plastic. I can't see the money that I'm actually spending. Alright, in my third and final point, I wanted to mention that in the Journal of Consumer Affairs, students participate in a survey about their attitudes towards debt, and this highlights their negative attitudes. So my third point is actually talking about stress. College students have tons of stress, from finals week to tests or homework or anything going on in your personal lives. You don't want to add another aspect of stress to your life. Stress is hard. I deal with stress a lot. Everyone here deals with stress. Stress is a difficult time. Stress makes everything harder, and you don't want to add any stress to your life by having a credit card that you won't be able to pay back. That you have to worry about. From personal experience, college or having a credit card as a college student has given me a lot of stress. I've forgotten to pay my bills, and I've had to pay like $25, even $50 extra to pay my bill because the amount increased, with the rate increased because I forgot to pay. And my mom works at Wells Fargo, which is the bank I use. And my credit card isn't on my mom's plan, isn't under her bank account when she goes online. But in contrast, my debit card is, and so is my savings account. So she knows when I'm using either of those money, any money from either of those accounts. But she doesn't know when I'm using my credit card, and I forget to pay, and then I have to pay an extra fine. I don't have my mom constantly nagging me, reminding me to pay my bill, and so then I end up forgetting, which is really bad. I've had to pay a lot of extra money to pay off my credit card bill, and it's not giving me a good credit score. Excuse me. All right. In closing, I wanted to ask you guys all what your views on the matter is now. What do you think now that I mentioned all of these, these three different negative aspects of having a credit card as a college student? And I wanted to restate my thesis, which is college student credit cards are detrimental. They are detrimental not only to you, not only to yourself, but to your family and friends as well, because they can see the effects it has on you. And then I wanted to restate my three main points. My first point is that credit cards can cause debt. My second point is that it can cause poor spending habits. And my third point is that it can cause a lot of stress on students. Thank you.